On today's episode of Damsels in the DMs.
My lover said something a few months ago that I can't get off my mind. She said a good friend of mine had been hooking up with people on Tinder, Hinge, Grindr, and Scruff. But the thing is, he's in a relationship with his girlfriend since before they were in college. I feel like I'm caught in this place of wanting to distance myself from that friendship since we've kind of grown apart over time. But what do I do about this weird communication thing with my girlfriend? Yours truly, Between Lovers and Friends.
This message is intended as a reminder that we are not licensed professionals, not psychiatrists or psychologists. If you have a serious problem, please seek professional help. The National Suicide Hotline is 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-8255.
There's some damsels in the DM.
Yes, queen.
Tell us what's the vibe. There's some damsels in the DM. Please tell us what's the vibe. DMs, yeah we see them, yeah we read them. DMs, we don't need them, we just leave them.
Please.
Yeah.
It's going down in the DMs. Bye.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Damsels in the DMs. I'm Lauren.
I'm Ash.
I'm Alejandro. How's it going, everyone? My goodness. It's our last episode in season 2. How does it feel?
Well, it's our last host episode, right? We do have a Valentine's Day special coming at you to finish the season finale.
We are really excited about this Valentine's Day special because it is something different and something amazing. And I can't wait for you guys to be a part of it and listen to it and just, get some good storytelling.
Well, I feel like today I've kind of exploded with a pink bomb of blush on my face. But on the topic of bombs, are you both familiar with love bombing?
I just want to say, I love the way you transitioned into that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
was
you,
really
thank
good.
you. Yes,
That was
I
really
like to write. I
smart.
like to make transitions of things. But
We
no, for
love your
real.
transitions.
There was this article on New York Times earlier this month that was talking about love bombing, and I thought it was really interesting because I hadn't really heard of this concept before reading this. But I'm so curious. Have either of you experienced some sort of love bombing or done any love bombing yourselves?
I have experienced it and I'm pretty sure I've done it. I experienced it. Yeah, I got really heavily love bombed like a couple years ago when I was dating this guy right before I moved to LA. He was living in LA and I was getting weird vibes from him. Like it would date it for 7 months and then it was just getting weird. I call him my stalker because he technically kind of was.
Oh, God.
And when I started pulling away, he started love bombing me and sending me just a shit ton of just trying to be there as much as possible, send me a shit ton of gifts and really thoughtful presents, things that are just so me and if this was any other situation, it would have been fine and it would have been actually really amazing. But the way that he did it and the context that he did it was just not okay. But I think that's an example of me being love bombed, me love bombing. I know that this happens because I just like giving gifts. And tell me if I'm off track on love bombing, but I really like giving gifts. And that is my way of showing affection. It's one of my love languages, how I show love. And I like giving thoughtful gifts. And I went out, it was one of these dates that have been going on in the new year. And I went out to dinner with this guy, one of the guys that I'm going on these dates with. And it was his birthday recently. So I bought him a book, a really cool cocktail making book. And when that was only our second date that I that I decided to buy him a present. And I was like, shoot, is this way too early to be giving stuff? Should I just not do it or should I do it? And I was like, I didn't go out of my way. I was in the store, I saw it and I thought he might like it. And it was his birthday a couple days ago. So I was like,
that is not love bombing. That is called being a kind, thoughtful person who likes somebody. I think that you are being chivalrous.
Okay, but then
by doing that.
I also sneakily paid for dinner. He went to the bathroom and the check came when he was gone. And I just was like, I'll just put my card down.
Can I ask you why you did that?
Yeah. So either it was like this is a test because it was a bet that we had on our first date that was about skiing and if Big Bear had any red or if America in general had any red slopes. I was saying that there are red slopes here and he was saying there's no red slopes, it's just blue and then goes to black. And he won the bet and we were like, whoever wins this bet buys the other person dinner. And I was like, fine, let's go. And so he won the bet and he was like, well, I'm excited for you to take me out to dinner and like celebrate my birthday with me. And I mean, it was like a couple days after his birthday. And I was like, yeah, like I got you, I'll pay for dinner. And then he was like, no, you can pay for the food, but I got the wine because we went to a really expensive place. Like the wine bottles were really expensive. He was like, I'll get the wine, you can pay, do your bet and pay the dinner. And so before I went to the bathroom, he left his card out on the table for me. And then the check came and I was like, I feel really weird being like, can you put dinner on this card, drinks on this card? And then I was like, is this a test? Like, would you think something different of me if I was like, yeah, like I made sure that I just paid for this and you paid for this. So I was like, I don't really care. Like, fuck it. I'll just do it a good deed or a good thing for someone. So I was like, if this doesn't go anywhere, I don't really care. Like, it's this guy's birthday. He's already paid for the first date. So, if there's no loss here.
Okay, this is not love bombing, but I am really happy to hear this for a couple of reasons. One, I think it was a really baller move on your end to go ahead and pay for it. I like that it shows that you're a woman of your word. And I think that all of it just shows that like you're fun and down for a game. And the third part that I really like about it is that I feel like you like this guy. And I feel like I don't hear about that from you very often. And that makes me happy.
I do like this guy, and we're going on a third date. Actually, on Wednesday, we're going on a hike and then going to dinner in Malibu after.
That's beautiful.
God,
I love this.
okay.
I want to hear more offline. But what was his reaction when you paid for the dinner?
He was really like taken aback. Like I feel like no girl has really done this for her. Maybe he's like not used to like. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I think like this doesn't really happen to him where girls would pay for dinner. And so he was like just like, whoa, like you like that was really sweet, you didn't have to do that. And then he texted me the next day. He was like thanking me again, and I was like, that's fine, like stop making me uncomfortable.
I love that. Again, not love bombing, but I have been love bombed, and I really hate the act of love bombing because I really hate to be liked too much. And I remember that this like used to cause me issues back in the day. And I'm not going to give too many details on my love bombing because anybody who's known me in the last 10 years could probably identify this person. But I'm just going to like give the subliminal messaging that it was just gifts all the time, like really extravagant things. Like I was in college, like offering to pay for flights, like offering to pay for like expensive things that nobody should have been affording. So it was obviously like their parents like paying for these types of things. And like back in the day, I was very uncomfortable about people paying for things for me, like particularly on dates. It just like made me really weird. Like I didn't let Brian take me out to dinner for a very long time because just like people spending money on me at that age, I was not like ready for. I have friends who have like been totally fine going out on dates for like their entire adult lives, but I was not like that. I really had to warm up into it. And for me, like when somebody likes you too much, it's like they don't really know you. And that to me is like the difference between Osh, like what you're talking about, and love bombing, because like you didn't really know this person, but like you're just doing like generous acts. You even said like if this doesn't go anywhere, then it's just to be a good person. You're not trying to manipulate them and you're not trying to get anything out of what you're doing by doing these nice things. Like you even said like you could wipe your hands of this if nothing came of it. The difference I think when you're being love bombed is that the person is trying to manipulate you with using like really chivalrous acts or like overly loving and like it's just really trying to convince you to be with them, which is what my interaction was with this particular person. And sort of like one-upping everything anybody else may try to do for you so that they really stand out in your mind. And to me, it was actually very unattractive, but also in a way like hard to say no to, because what I think they do is they make you feel like they're the right choice. Like they make you feel like all of the other people who are just normal in your life or just treating you normally, like aren't the ones that you should be with because everything compared to this person who's trying to do so much to make you happy. And like for anybody who likes the bad boy, and like, hello, I've been guilty of it, then then like you know that the person who is like love bombing you is going to be less attractive, but you also feel like that's the person I should be with because they're the person who's going to like allow me to have a good life. And it's also very like stereotypical gender roles, which like I can now see with an adult eye, but at the time could not see. And regarding you asked if I have ever love bombed, no, because to me it is like a very cringy thing. But I think I have been overly affectionate or like came on too strong and like came on from a point where I was trying to get that person to be my boyfriend before I even really knew them because I was just trying to have a boyfriend. But I wouldn't say that I love bombed them necessarily, but I think that like that overly affectionate, like treating somebody like they're your partner early on in the relationship never really works, at least in my experiences, because I don't think it makes the person feel special. Not special because you do feel special when you're getting all this love and attention, but you don't feel unique because they don't really know you and they're not treating you this way because there's somebody you really know. They're just really struck by you.
Alejandra, have you ever been love bombed or have you love bombed anyone?
Well, I feel like I'm in the same boat as you. I love giving gifts. I don't necessarily like to receive them.
Hmm.
I like surprising, but not always, because I don't want to set that precedent either of like, okay, you're
Yeah.
gonna get a gift every month. It's like, no, my budget does not allow. But yeah, no, I mean, like for special occasions, like I love being able to like split, especially for like birthdays and stuff. Like, why not? I don't know. I like moments like that, or creating like special moments. That's what I love. But to have or to say that I have the intent to make the other person feel like I should be their everything, that I don't think I've done because I don't want to be a person's everything. I think that it's only fair for everyone in a relationship to feel like, okay, like there's some person that they're in a relationship with, and like, yes, they may fulfill certain things, but one person cannot be another person's everything. So I think being realistic of that is really important. And I think, yeah, holding that in my mind has prevented me from love bombing. I
Mm-hmm.
can't recall an example when I've been love bombed, mainly because I haven't really been in many relationships. I mean, even when I was dating back in college, I never let it go on too long enough to like allow someone to put me in that position of like feeling like, oh my God, like they're gonna give me this, they're gonna give me that. I was always like of the mindset of just like, no, we're done. This is the expiration date, and we're moving on. But
I feel like love bombing never even really leads to successful relationships anyway, because like the love that they're showering you with isn't real. It's just like they're if they're love bombing you that early on, then they are also love bombing other people or have love bombed other people.
I feel like they don't have the right intentions. Like, for example, my one of my best friends, I'm pretty sure this is love bombing. She started seeing this guy very early on, and was like buying her all sorts of gifts, like flying her out, doing all these things. And when she was telling me about it, I was very concerned. He bought her a 42,000 Cartier bracelet
Oh my
whoa,
in
God.
the first couple of months of just talking, of knowing.
Ugh.
damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
She didn't end up accepting it or something, but I remember telling my parents about it, and my dad was like, I'm gonna pray for her because I don't trust this person. Like, I'm having a really bad feeling about this. Like, I'm gonna pray for her because I don't trust it. Like, what are his intentions? What does he want with her, that he's gonna be showering her and like spending all this money and using money to see if he can control, getting her or something. I don't know. But
What was the reaction when she didn't accept that gift, or
um
was there a reaction?
So it was a whole thing. Like, she didn't end up accepting it, or something happened where she didn't end up taking it. I don't remember what his reaction was, but I remember him just being a really petty person, and so I'm pretty sure he had just like a petty response to it. And I don't know, but the relationship didn't end up working, and now she's with someone who she really likes and she's really happy with. But I kind of saw it from the start too. I was like, something's suspicious. Like, you've only been dating for 3 weeks and he's already spent like close to $90,000 on you, like with the
That's
other
so
presents.
wild.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
that's what they do. They give you things that make it like really difficult for you to say no to like next
Yeah.
steps forward in the relationship. Like just to give like a very subtle example of this, because I'm trying to be careful. This person gave me a very large gift in front of my entire sorority to ask me to some event, and it put me in a very awkward position where I could not
Yeah.
say no because everyone was like, oh my God, like you must be so lucky. Like, how beautiful of a gift. Like, how wonderful. And like, I would have, at the time, I felt like I would have looked horrible saying no, but that's what they want. They want it to be like so grand of a gesture that you can't say no.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. It's
How did that?
manipulative. It's so manipulative. That's why I was like, "Osh, you're not that's not love bombing."
It's great.
Because like
I'm
if
so
you
glad.
if you've been love bombed, like it just feels like a cringier feeling. And when you look, okay, because we were gonna talk about like examples of love bombing, and I feel like my experience is kind of saying this, but like you just low key feel icky about it. Like
Mm.
it's not like Osh hearing it, like I had butterflies for you. And Alejandro, like you are the most genuine person I know. Like giving gifts to people, like you guys just care about people and you want people to like be in like better places. And I know that even if like those people didn't end up being with you, you'd be happy that they had something because you guys like making other people happy. Like these people, if you don't these people who love bomb, if you don't accept their gifts or you're not appreciative of the gestures that they're making, you're doing something wrong. It's just like you have an icky feeling about it. Like I still feel cringy about it. And they put you in a position where it's hard to say no because they make you feel like they're the right person for you.
Mm.
Damn.
That's the feeling that I got, the icky feeling when I had my stalker send me like
Yeah.
Venus de Flor flat, like the huge like flower box. Like that was like the one of the most expensive ones that they had on their website.
That's being love bombed.
Yeah, like he said, and this is when he realized I was pulling back and being distant. And I did tell him to please leave me alone, and he didn't.
Ooh.
He kept sending more stuff. Like I was working at Rumble at the time, and this random woman came up to me. It was in the evening. Came up to me and she was like, "Are you Osh?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Here you go." And she gave me an envelope and walked out. I've never seen this woman in my life. And I was like, "Am I being subpoenaed? Like, what's happening?" And it was a handwritten note from him to check my mailbox.
Oh my God. What was in the
Did you
mailbox?
see that? A notebook. I did not go check that mailbox for days or weeks because I was so terrified of what was in there.
Yeah.
But I finally plucked up the courage and I opened it and it was a notebook. And he wrote all of his feelings for me. Like he wrote me a
Oh,
novel.
hell no. Oh my God.
Yeah. And
Oh my
still after
God.
that, like wouldn't leave me alone.
Ugh, you just
That
reminded
is-
me of another instance where I've been love bombed.
Oh, tell us.
Oh no. I
Or
just
should we
remembered.
read the letter about this experience? Because this letter is curious. It's kind of different than all of what we've been describing in terms of this love bombing concept. Should we get
Yes,
into
let's
it?
get to it.
Yes,
do it.
let's do it.
So we have damn damsels is how it opens. I just want to get off my chest how your episodes have been like everything I need to hear the moment I hear them. So there's that. But my lover said something a few months ago that I can't get off my mind. She said a good friend of mine had been hooking up with people on Tinder, Hinge, Grinder, and Scruff. But the thing is, he's in a relationship with his girlfriend since before they were in college. To be honest, it doesn't add up because maybe I could be wrong since he and I don't really go into his relationship or sex life when we catch up. It's also weird that as soon as I tried asking how my lover found out about all this, she doesn't even want to go into the conversation. So she just says things like, I just don't want to associate with a person like that. I feel like I'm caught in this place of wanting to distance myself from that friendship since we've kind of grown apart over time. But what do I do about this weird communication thing with my girlfriend? Yours truly, between lovers and friends. So it is kind of different than what we were describing, but it's like a distancing thing, is what it sounds like, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Mhm.
maybe just have a conversation with their friend and, you know, be kind of upfront about it and be like, hey, this is what I've been hearing about you. Like, obviously, your business is your business, but I just wanted to kind of sit down with you and have a chat. And if that's not the kind of friend you want to be with, or if your girlfriend can't, stand a person like that, like have an honest conversation with this friend, especially if this friend has been in your life for like a while. And then, yeah, I mean, it's between lovers and friends, right? So it's like, I feel like this always happens where your girlfriend will get into a tiff with one of your friends and, something will happen. But this seems like a very kind of a crazy incident that's happening where there's cheating involved. So I would just have an honest conversation with your friend. And if you want to break up with your friend, there's actually a book called How to Break Up with Your Friends. And it's one that I want to read because I was actually talking to my best friend about it yesterday. And we're talking about friends that we have in our life that we kind of want to start letting go of, but we don't know how. So I think read this book and it will tell you how to do it.
Okay, well, hopefully we get them on the podcast as well.
And hopefully we get to stay on the friend list.
Oh, you guys weren't even hear that how to get a friend list.
I would be curious too, though, like if this thing that this lover is hearing isn't true, I wonder what the reaction would be. Like if it's all a lie and if like this friend admits that like no, there's no activity on Tinder or Hinge or whatever. I'm curious how that would affect the relationship between the letter writer and their girlfriend. Because
Shook about this letter. Like, why does the lover know this? And like, why is she not saying this? I feel like maybe I've been watching too much Euphoria that like I am now making this letter like a bigger deal in my head. But like, I feel like is the lover like hooking up with the friend and they met like on Tinder or Grinder or whatever. And
shit.
yeah. And she doesn't want to tell you and she's being weird about it, but that's how she knows. And were you a ploy to get to that friend? I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, it's concerning. And yes, Osh, everything you were saying about having a serious conversation. Whenever people like feel uncomfortable talking about things, I feel like there's always a greater meaning behind it. And like, of course, it doesn't need to be as shady as what I am making it out to be. But a few weeks ago, and I won't give details on this, but like I saw something on Brian's phone and I like loosely brought it up to him. And it was something that he felt uncomfortable talking about. Like when I called him out on it, it immediately, and I wasn't like aggressively calling him out because it was nothing like very bad, but he was already weird about it. And I could sense he was being weird about it. And like until we had a larger conversation about it later was when the meaning came out of why it was like something that was a touchy subject, which is my point that like, if you feel like there is something weird, I feel like most cases there usually is. And I am somebody who like makes things bigger than they are. So yeah, of course there's times where like you're exaggerating in your mind and it's nothing wrong, but I just feel like in relationships, at least for me, like my relationship is probably the least thing I'm dramatic about because I trust it and I know Brian so well. So when like there is something that's just like a little bit off, I feel like trust your gut on that there might be something weird, which actually brings me because I was about to talk about this before we got into the letter. The very first time in my life that I was love bombed. It was by this really cute guy who I felt like really lucky to be dating at the time. And he sent me playlists and like CDs that I thought were curated for me, like just really like what I thought were like very thoughtful, romantic things that nobody had ever done for me before. And then like a few weeks later, and like this person had been in like a well-known serious relationship at the time, like among the high schools, it was very popular. I found out that like he had been cheating on me and like the relationship he was in previously, he did all the same things for that person. And then like he broke up with me and he never like wanted anything to do with me. And I was worth like dirt to him. Like I was so useless to him. And like I will just say regarding love bombing, like as a greater topic, like it is like from 100 to 0 real quick. And in like situations regarding this and like for this letter, just like look for the signs and pay attention to how deep your conversations actually are with the people that you're with. And if they are surface level and you're like, I can't believe that this person likes me so much because like we really haven't even gotten to know each other that well. Trust that instinct because when you feel that way, I think that that's real. And that's something I regret not trusting more.
I know that's right. Gut instincts are there for a reason.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would just say, like, you have a feeling in your pit stomach when something is genuine versus not genuine. And if you are really unsure whether somebody is love bombing you or it's coming from a genuine place, then write us a letter. And we are happy to analyze it for you because girly knows that I've been there.
And now you can write letters via the link tree, the link in the bio. There's an anonymous submission tool where you can totally submit without admitting your identity, or just send us a DM the traditional way that we have been doing. We're always open to reading your letters and seeing how we can help with any sort of feedback and advice.
We have so many exciting things coming up for you guys in season 3, and I feel like it's going to be such a good one, but we're really open to all of the suggestions. I feel like one flaw in our system before was that we didn't have this anonymous system. So I'm really glad there's going to be a place where there's no like even type of judgment on what you're saying. Not that we were judging you, because we never were, but I know sometimes it can be like intimidating to have your Instagram profile, especially if you're in like a career where your Instagram profile matters. So I think it's really great that we're implementing this anonymous system.
Yeah, it's a super safe space, you know, regardless if we can see your Instagram handle or not. And I think this anonymous thing is great because now you get to kind of just like be so free to express what you're feeling, and we're here to receive that, you know, and to help you out as in whatever way that we can. So please keep writing to us, and we're excited for, you know, our next episode, last episode of season 2.
Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Damsels in the DMs.
Until next time.
It's going down in the DMs.
Bye.
DMs, we don't need them, we just leave them.
Please.
Yeah.
It's going down in the DMs. Bye.